Hi guys, today we're going to be talking about fishing line. Now there are lots of different types of fishing line and lots of people don't know what the differences are between them. So today we're going to go over that. There are three types of fishing line. First is monofilament, second is fluorocarbon, and the third is braided and or fused fishing line. First we're going to talk about the differences between mono and fluorocarbon. Okay, mono floats a lot better than fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon will sink, so if you're going to be fishing a fishing lure that needs to dive down to the bottom, like a crankbait, or if you're fishing a jig or something that's going to need a little help to stay on the bottom, fluorocarbon is really good at that. Mono, however, floats, so if you're going to be fishing topwater lures, like a topwater floating worm, mono would help the worm float a lot better than fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon would probably drag it down. So also monofilament has more stretch to it, and fluorocarbon has very little stretch. And it's also, fluorocarbon is very stiff, I've found, and mono has a lot more play to it. And the differences in that you'll see when you're fishing. I found that there's a lot more sensation with the fluorocarbon. Like you can feel the bottom very extremely well with that, a little more than mono, but one of the drawbacks to that is fluorocarbon will snap a lot quicker than mono will, because mono has that stretch to it. So if you're a beginner fisherman, you might want to try mono, just because it'll give you a little more reaction time before the line breaks. But other than that, they're both really good fishing lines. Mono seems to be a lot more popular than fluorocarbon, but fluorocarbon has its place. So now we're going to talk about braided fishing line. Braided fishing line is obviously what it sounds like. It's braided fishing line. It's very extremely tough. You can get a very high pound test with very thin line diameter. It is, however, very visible, whereas fluorocarbon is virtually invisible in water because it matches the refraction of the water almost perfectly. So your fishing lines like mono and your braided lines will be more visible in the water, but braided a lot stronger. Also, you don't want to grab this with your hands when you got a big fish on it, because these braided fishing lines have been known to cut fingers, cut up your equipment. You got to make sure you got really strong, really durable equipment when you're using a braided fishing line, because it becomes very sharp when there's a lot of tension on it. But other than that, it's a really good fishing line for fishing in a really heavy cover, like lily pads or sticks or weeds. If you need to get the fish out of that cover and away from it into open water so you can get it into your boat or land it right away, braided fishing line is really good for that. And so that's about all I got for you guys today. If you have any questions or comments, or if you have anything that you want to see on my channel, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay guys, just a quick little follow-up to the video that I did the other day. A couple things that I forgot to put in there. Monofilament is cheaper than fluorocarbon. Monofilament also has a smaller line diameter than fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon's a little thicker. That being said, mono is more visible in the water, and fluorocarbon matches the refraction of the light in the water almost perfectly, so it's pretty much invisible. Monofilament will hold its shape, so if you're going to store it, you might want to replace it if you're a seasonal fisherman. Fluorocarbon does not hold its shape. And with the mono, with it holding its shape, it'll conform to the shape that it's in your spool. And so when you pick it up next season to go fishing or whatever, and you go to cast, you'll notice all those loops in your lines, and it'll cause a lot of bird's nest. And you'll have to replace mono a lot more than you will have to fluorocarbon. So it's a little more expensive, but you're gonna have to buy more mono than you will fluorocarbon. That being said, I like that the mono is more flexible than the fluorocarbon. The fluorocarbon is really stiff. So I think I'd go with mono over fluorocarbon, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, and don't be afraid to comment below or video response. If you have anything you want to see or any other questions about fishing line, be sure to ask me. I'll get back to you right away.